Hello all, my name is Lajja Shah, Assistant Professor from LJ Institute of Computer Application. Today I am going to cover a topic of process scheduling and its some of the policies, that is from the operating system. In the earlier video, we have already seen two categories of this kind of process scheduling policies, that is preemptive and non-preemptive. Here briefly again I am explaining it. Non-preemptive policies are the policies in which the current process will not be interrupted by the new process. Whereas in preemptive category, current process can be interrupted by the new process if new process is eligible than the current one for the further execution. Here we are going to see next non-preemptive policy, that is shortest process next. To see this policy, we will understand it by using example. In this example, we have taken 5 processes, process A, B, C, D and E. We have taken its arrival time. Arrival time is the time at which the process will be created in the system, and its service time. That is the total execution time of the process for execution in the system. The name of the policy is shortest process next, that is non-preemptive policy. Shortest process next means here the process will be selected for the execution which is shorter compared to the other processes. Have to consider whether a process is shorter or not by saying its service time. If the service time of the process is lesser compared to the other process's service time, then the process will be considered as the shorter process. So let's begin. Currently there is a 0th second. So at the 0th second there is only one process is created in our system, that is process A. When there is a one process, no need to apply any policy. The policy or scheduling need to be applied when there are multiple processes for the execution. So, at the 0th second, process A will be executed and it will be executed for the next 3 seconds. While the process A was executing, process B has already arrived in the system. But it is non-preemptive policy. So, new process B will not interrupt the process A. After the completion of process A, we'll be putting the value in the table. That is the finish time, turnaround time and its throughput value. Process A has finished at 3 seconds. Its turnaround time is also 3 seconds. That is difference between finish time and arrival time. And its throughput value is 1. Next, current time is 3 seconds. At this time, we have again one process. So, no need to check which process will be executed. Process B will be executed for next 6 seconds. While the process B was executing, new 3 process has arrived in the system. That is process C, process D and process E. At this point, we have multiple processes for the execution. So, we need to decide among all the 3 processes which process should be executed next. Now, according to the policy, we need to select a shorter process. For finding a shorter process, we need to look at the values of service time for all the 3 processes. Process C's service time is 4 seconds. Process D's service time is 5 seconds. Process E's service time is 2 seconds. As you can see, process E's service time is lesser than process C and process D. It means process E is the shorter process than process D and process C. So next, process E will be executed for 2 seconds. After the completion of process E, Again, we will put values of E into the table. E will be completed at 11th second. Its turnaround time is very less, that is 3 seconds. That is the difference between finish time and the arrival time. And its throughput value is 1.5. After the completion of E, we have again two processes, that is process C and process D. Again, we need to choose one of the processes. To choose any of the process, we need to see which process is shorter. Process C's service time is 4 seconds and process D's service time is 5 seconds. So, process C is shorter than process D. So, next, process C will be executed for 4 seconds. So, process C will be completed at 15th second. Its turnaround time is 11 seconds. That means total for the 11 seconds process C has reside in the system and its throughput value is 2.75. Next, we are left with only one process, that is process D. So no need to check further. Straightforward, the leftover process will be executed next. So process D will be executed for 5 seconds. So process D will be completing at 20th second. Its turnaround time is 14 seconds and its throughput value is 2.80. I hope you have understood very well this policy, that is shortest process next. In this policy, when there are multiple processes for the execution, operating system will calculate ratio for each and every process and the process will be selected for the execution who is having the highest ratio value. So let's begin. Current time is 0th second. At this point, there is only again one process, that is process A. So there is no need to calculate a ratio for process A. When there are multiple options, then and then only there is a need to calculate a ratio for the selection of the process. So here process A will be executed for 3 seconds. After the 3 seconds, process B has already arrived in the system. But again, process A has already completed and there is only one process in the system, that is process B. So again, there is no need to calculate a ratio value for process B. Process B will be executed for 6 seconds. After the 6 seconds, again we'll be putting values of completion of process B in the table, as we have already put values of process A in the table. Now, the current time is 9 seconds and at this point, we have 3 processes in the system, that is process C, process D and process E. At this point, we have multiple processes for the execution. So, operating system need to decide which process will be executed next. For that, operating system will calculate ratio value for each and every process. The formula for finding out the ratio is waiting time of that process plus service time whole upon service time. How to calculate the waiting time? Waiting time is the difference between current time and arrival time. As you can see, after the completion of process B, the current time is 9 seconds. At this time, 3 processes have been arrived in the system, that is process C, D and E. Now operating system has multiple options for the execution. So at this point, a ratio will be calculated for each and every process. The formula for finding out the ratio is waiting time plus service time whole upon service time of a particular process. Have to calculate a waiting time. Waiting time is the difference between current time and arrival time. So, let's see what will be the ratio for all the three processes. Process C's waiting time is 5 seconds. Its service time is 4 seconds. Hence, its ratio will be 2.25. Process D's waiting time is 3 seconds. Its service time is 5 seconds. So, its ratio will be 1.6. Process E's waiting time is only 1 second. Its service time is 2 seconds. So, its ratio will be 1.5. Among all the three processes, process C is having the highest ratio value. So, next process C will be selected for the execution. Process C will be selected for 4 seconds and its value will be calculated, that is finish time, turnaround time and its throughput value. Now the current time is 13 seconds. Again, at this point we have two processes for the execution. To decide the next process, again the ratio of two processes will be calculated. Now the value of ratio will be changed because its waiting time will be changed. So let's see the ratio of two process D and process E. For D, waiting time will be 13 minus 6, that is 7 seconds, and its service time is 5 seconds. So its ratio will be 2.4 and E's ratio will be 3.5. Among these two processes, process E is having the highest value. So process E will be selected next for the execution. Process E will be successfully executed and its value has been put in the table, that is finish time, turnaround time and throughput. Last, we are left with only one process, that is process D. So no need to calculate a ratio, hence there is only one process. So process D will be executed for 5 seconds. After the execution of all the processes, the mean value of turnaround time and throughput value will be calculated for the processor's better utilization. I hope you have understood both the non-preemptive policies very well. Thank you.